Imagine moving into your dream home, only to discover your neighbor has been secretly stealing from you for years. And when I found out what he did, let's just say I flipped one switch, and his entire world collapsed. This is the story of how my entitled neighbor thought he could take advantage of me until karma burned down everything he had. If you've ever dreamed of watching karma catch up to someone who thought they were untouchable, smash that like button, because this story, oh, you're going to feel the justice. I had just bought a new house. A fixer-upper, yes, but right in the heart of the capital city. The deal was almost too good to be true. The previous owners, family friends of mine, had moved abroad 3 years ago and needed money fast. I swooped in, bought it for a steal, and moved in at the start of the month. But the moment I stepped into my dream home, reality smacked me in the face. The place was half finished. The main door locked only with a flimsy padlock. No gate, no security. It looked abandoned, and apparently my new neighbors thought it was abandoned too. On day one, I found a random bike parked in my garage, just sitting there, like the place belonged to him. I dragged it out to the road and immediately had a gate installed. That same evening, an angry man banged on my gate, furious. He hammered for 15 minutes before giving up, finally wheeling his bike away. I watched through my window, heart pounding, thinking, welcome to the neighborhood, huh? For a while, things seemed okay. Sure, people blocked my gate sometimes, but a big no parking sign fixed that. Until the shower. One day, as hot water trickled weakly from the faucet, I heard something strange. My neighbor's water pump kicked on. The old guy next door who lived on the first floor of his 3-story house while renting the upper floors to tenants. Instantly, suspicion gnawed at me. Could he be siphoning my water? I tested it. I waited until his pump turned off, then twisted my taps. Boom. Pressure back to normal. I tested again. Same result. That explained a lot. My water bills had been strangely high for years, even when the house was empty. Everyone blamed leaky pipes. But now it was clear. This old miser had rigged himself into my supply line. Now water in my country isn't expensive. My bills, even with washing 3 dogs, watering a garden and cleaning my car, would normally run me just $5 a month. It wasn't the money. It was the principle, the arrogance, the entitlement, the idea that some bitter old man thought he had the right to help himself to my resources without asking, without paying, and then, what? Laugh behind my back? I couldn't let it go. But I also couldn't risk going down the messy legal route. That could take years. And confronting him? Risky. So I came up with something better, something beautifully simple. I waited until his water pump switched on again. And then I quietly turned off the main supply to my house. That's it. Now here's how it works. In my country, household water tanks use a ball valve system. When the water drops, the valve signals the pump to turn on and keep running until the tank fills. But because I'd cut the supply, the pump kept sucking and sucking on nothing. And anyone who knows pumps knows. Starving them of water destroys them. Fast. At first, I thought I'd just burn out his motor. Expensive, sure, but fixable. What I didn't realize was that his entire house still ran on ancient 90s wiring, and a pump pulling endless power. Oh, it fried his circuits. At 3 a.m., chaos erupted, shouts, slamming doors, lights flickering, tenants spilling into the hall, voices sharp with anger. His entire house had lost water and power. Tenants were screaming at the landlord, demanding answers. By morning, one tenant was already dragging suitcases out the door. The other filed a police complaint, furious that essential utilities weren't being maintained. And here's the kicker. Tenant laws here are strict. Water and electricity are legally protected. Any landlord who fails to provide them can be fined, even without a court case. By the end of the week, both tenants were gone. He was slapped with a $500 fine, massive money in my country. He had to refund both deposits. And until he upgraded his wiring and plumbing, he couldn't even legally rent again. I watched all this unfold with quiet satisfaction. 2 days later, he shuffled up to my gate. His face was blank, but his eyes, oh, they burned. Did you turn off your water? He asked carefully. I shrugged, feigning innocence. Yeah, I had a leak in my tank. Plumber's fixing it tomorrow. He just stood there, lips tight, staring. I could tell he wanted to scream, to accuse me, but he couldn't prove a thing. So he just muttered, "Oh, okay," and walked away. That was the last time he ever looked me in the eye. Within days, he packed up and moved in with his daughter. The tenants, his only income stream, were gone. His wiring fried, his water pump dead, his wallet bleeding from fines and refunds. And me? I'd solved 2 problems with one simple twist of a valve. No more water thief. No more bitter neighbor. Just peace, quiet, and justice served. Looking back, it wasn't about money. It was about principle, about standing up for yourself when someone thinks they can walk all over you. Sometimes, karma doesn't need fists or lawyers. Sometimes it just needs a single switch. So what do you think? Was I too harsh? Or did my neighbor get exactly what he deserved? Tell me in the comments, because I love reading your takes. And if you believe in real-life karma stories like this, hit subscribe for more tales where justice always finds its way.